body of the victim has never been found until recently, bringing closure to the victim's family. In the early weeks of September of 2018, the Parkersburg Police Department were notified by officials from the Department of Military Affairs and Public Safety and the Cabinet Secretary, Jeff Sandy. Convicted murderer Mark Hanna wanted to provide information that would lead police to the burial site of Miss Marty. On Tuesday, September 25th, the investigators were able to watch an interview with Mr. Hanna, his attorney, and a news reporter in Charleston, West Virginia. During this interview, Hanna did provide a specific location in Washington County where he stated that he had buried the victim. At that time, at that interview, investigators were not permitted to speak to Mr. Hanna. On October 22nd of 2018, members of the Parkersburg Police Department and Washington County Sheriff's Department traveled to Mount Olive Correctional Center to interview Hanna along with his attorney to obtain additional information about the specific site. Hanna provided additional information that allowed the investigation to continue. A combined effort from law enforcement was established to complete the task of locating Miss Marty. Agents from the Cincinnati Field Office and Evidence Recovery Team of the FBI were called to assist the PD and the Sheriff's Department with this case. This team visited the site that was believed to be the location of the victim, known as the former Shell Chemical Employee Park. During this time, the Evidence Recovery Team conducted a site survey based off the information provided by the inmate, along with data that was located from 1984. The site survey provided a plan for the search to be completed on 7 November of 2018. On that date at 0700 hours, the ERT team, Detectives Lieutenant Naval Lieutenant Brian Lockhart from the Washington County Sheriff's Department, began the excavation. The team had removed several yards of soil, digging 5 to 6 feet deep in a very long area, probably 60 to 70 feet long. This went on throughout the day, and about 1330 hours, an item located within the soil was located, indicating that the investigators had found what they were looking for. The item immediately identified as a piece of border that would be used to trim around a blanket. Shortly thereafter, the next scoop of dirt provided a piece of cloth, which is in fact a blanket. This evidence was convincing to the team that they had located the grave of the deceased victim. The team slowed down the process and started to hand dig this specific dig site. As a result, the team was able to recover the near complete skeletized remains and additional evidence that would indicate that this was the victim. The remains were sent to Montgomery County, Ohio Coroner's Office for positive identification and autopsy. The examination revealed a bathing suit matching the one of the victim that she was last seen wearing, a blanket that was described by the convicted murderer, and 2 bullets. A forensic dentist made a positive identification of these remains. In fact, those remains being Leslie Diane Marty. This case could not have been successful without the collaboration between the Parkersburg Police Department, Boyd County Prosecutor Pat Leffinger, Washington County Sheriff's Department, and the FBI. The entire team is focused on locating the remains of Miss Marty to give closure to the family who had been waiting since 1983.